Nate Silver of 538 Politics recently argued that Bernie Sanders could potentially win Iowa and New Hampshire, but still lose the Democratic nomination overall. Now, before you guys worry, just hang on, I'll go over his argument, and then at the end of the video, I'll explain why I think he still has a very, very good chance in spite of this new finding. So, Nate Silver writes, Hillary Clinton's campaign is now telling reporters that she is at risk of losing Iowa to Bernie Sanders in the February caucuses. Clinton's campaign is probably right. Sanders could win Iowa. He's up to 30% of the vote there. He could also win New Hampshire, where he's at 32% of the vote. Now, he says one explanation for Bernie Sanders' popularity is that Democratic caucus goers in Iowa and Democratic primary voters in New Hampshire are really liberal and really white, and that's the core of Sanders' support. So the two primary states that he's currently surging in, New Hampshire and Iowa, they do have some of the largest shares of liberal white voters, which makes Bernie Sanders win in those places that much more likely. I'll put up the chart right now. And this shows the top states with the most white liberal voters. So now the biggest hurdle is that Bernie Sanders currently isn't doing so well among non-whites. Silver explains, put another way, Iowa and New Hampshire aren't representative of the more diverse electorates that Democrats will turn out elsewhere. Clinton performed well among Hispanic voters in 2008. She now has excellent favorability ratings among black voters. If Clinton begins to see her support erode among these groups, her campaign will have some real reason for concern. So is it the case that Bernie Sanders could win Iowa and New Hampshire and still not get the Democratic nominee? Well, of course that's the case. I mean, this is an undecided election. Let's not forget that Bernie Sanders is the underdog, but he is surging a lot. Now, to look at that point, because Nate Silver explains that, yeah, he's surging in these two states, but they have the most liberal white voters. Well, one thing that he's not taking into consideration yet is the fact that Bernie and Hillary Clinton have not debated each other yet. See, Clinton has the advantage of just having pretty much universal name recognition in the US. So if you're a Democrat, you're going to know who Hillary Clinton is. And if you're a Republican, you're going to know who Hillary Clinton is. When it comes to Bernie Sanders, that's not really the case. A lot of people in Vermont know him. A lot of progressives know him. But with the rest of the country, they don't really know who he is yet. A lot of non-white voters don't know who he is. But guess who's aware of this? Bernie Sanders, and he is currently coordinating outreach to African Americans, to Latino Americans, and to all types of minority groups, and he's doing a phenomenal job at doing that. And you're going to see it really pick up. But here's the thing that you can't really put into the equation yet, as Nate Silver couldn't predict this yet, but the amount of popularity he's going to gain from debating with Hillary Clinton. Once these debates take place, you're really going to see that his ratings are going to surge even more. And this is because all of his policy ideas are right in line with the American people's, whereas Hillary Clinton is more centrist. But Bernie Sanders actually agrees with the American people, and they agree with him on a lot of the proposals that he has submitted thus far if he becomes elected. So we shouldn't worry just yet about this, because even though Nate Silver on 538 Politics, they are very, very accurate with their predictions, you can't predict things like approval ratings when it comes to debates and whatnot. It's just really impossible to do, and you can't do it accurately. So the takeaway, of course, it is possible that Bernie Sanders could lose even after he wins those two states, but is he actually a real contender to get the Democratic nomination? Of course he is, and the problem that he has right now, which is his biggest problem, is the fact that he's really not well known among non-white voters. Well, I really think that this problem is going to slowly but surely be ameliorated over time. So look, the campaign just got started. We still have a lot of time. Bernie knows what he has to do, and I think he's going to do it, and he's going to win the Democratic nomination. The momentum is not going to stop.